We are discussing chapter number 2, diversity or diversity and discrimination. Whenever we see people who are different from us, who look different from us, they are often teased, they are loved, and they are not included in our activity, job, festivals, home, community. In India, if I take the numbers, in whole world there are 8 major religions, and all these 8 religions are in India. We have followers here. All the religion of the world are there in India. We have more than 1600 languages spoken here. If I go to the religion, Hindu or Sanatan Dharma, Jews, Christianity, Buddhist, Jainism, Sikhism, Muslim, Islam, Parsi, Zoroastrianism, all these we have in our country. Language, I'll take just a few of them. Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Gujarati, Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, Odia, Telugu, Urdu, Kashmiri, Punjabi, Marwadi, Assamese, Konkani, Mathili. So this is ... because there are so many. As I said, 1600 plus. And if you just take an example of dance, we have Bharatnatyam, Kathakali, Kathak, Kuchipudi, Odissi, Satriya, Manipuri, and Mohiniyattam. So Mohiniyattam, there are so many dance forms. So this is the diversity. We are not celebrating it. This diversity which is given by God, or we have created, or by itself created. I'll give an example. This person, he wants to live with the person who looks same. He must have a beard, have a skull cap. Now what happens? It's good. You know, if you want to live with your community, your people, there's no harm. The problem arises when the people who are different, you have an opinion, and that opinion is bad. Now if this person, whenever he sees a person with a beard, he'll think that there is a goat hanging always. They'll always eat biryani. And the Sardarji, he will be thought after 8 o'clock he will drink and he will have chicken. That is the only thing we know, nothing else. This opinion which has been fed in our mind, the opinion which we, just because they talk differently, they have different dress, here the discrimination will start. Here. Now if I take you to some questionnaire about the rural people, about the urban people, and I want you to tick here. So I hope whatever you will tick, it will be partly based on what you think independently and what you think which is fed in your mind by your family, by the community around us, by the friends. So rural, they don't want to go to the technology. Urban, people think that they are lazy. Urban people are lazy. They are spoiled. They do drink, they do drugs, etc. So these things are being fed into your mind. They are only partly true. Whatever you see in television or in newspaper may not always be true. And this is being fed into your mind. So there is a word called prejudice. Prejudice. Purvagraha, prejudice. So this means to judge other people negatively as see them as inferior. That means you have a biasing and you always see the other person as an inferior one, that he's not up to your mark, or always think negative about him. Now I'll just take another turn. How about the Muslim person? So whatever he thinks about the orange person, he will think orange, he'll wear orange, he'll always have a fast, he'll always, doing the puja, archana. So there is a purvagraha, there is a prejudice. And the bearded person, Islamist, also will think the same about the Punjabi. So this is the prejudice. And as I said, whatever example I took are negative. I never talked about positive thing. Why? Because prejudice, biasing, wrong opinion, framing an opinion, or feeding the opinion. If you see this person who is following Islam, he will offer 5 time namaz. And Hindu is that dharma, that Sanatan dharma, that is based on purity. Having everyone, taking everyone as themselves, as friends. And Punjabis, langar, they are always there to help. So when we talk positive, that is the actual positive. For example, I'll take one more example. There is a girl or a boy. Now he or she speaks very good English. Very good English. Sophisticated. Now what will happen to you? You'll think, oh, they are speaking so good English. Everyone is saying whosoever speaks English, he or she is the best. By this logic, United Kingdom, USA, Australia, New Zealand, everyone speaks English. So everyone is an IITian, everyone is going to IIM, everyone is having an IQ 100%. No, there are people who don't have that. There are also people like moderate people. No, everyone is not intelligent there, though everyone speaks English. So by this logic, you cannot judge yourself. You cannot judge yourself. If you are not able to speak English, that doesn't mean that you may not be intelligent. If you go to Bihar, they say Ra as Rada. And most of the IAS people are from Bihar. So if you go to their language, you will misjudge them, because they are the most mehanti and intelligent people. And as I said, I just gave the example. So we are prejudiced, we are biased because of their religious belief. They follow whatever dharma they have. If they are dark skinned, or they are fair skinned or brown skinned, so why a person is black? Just because of the sun's energy. If it is more heat, a person will become dark. It's not that he has asked that make me black. So we are just having these black people, we look them with prejudice. We have wrong opinions about them. And if you talk about Northeast, now when Corona was at its peak, people started saying them as Chinese or Corona, Northeastern people, and these people are Indian. These are under our constitution. They are our brothers, sisters, like the way we are Indians, the way they are Indians. But they speak like this. You cannot go to Tamil Nadu and see people and say they are Sri Lankan. So you cannot go to the skin, you cannot, whatever they speak, what clothes they wear, you cannot have a prejudice. We cannot have a negative biasing about them. So this is what is being fed, and that is what I want you to clear off your mind. Don't have prejudice. Just think about a person as an individual with qualities. I'll give you one more example. Girl and boy, mostly in the northern belt of India. If you go to Kerala, it's matriarchal society. The women of the house is the master. If you go to Kashmir, we respect people there, respect women more than men. You have to give money to get a woman, means to marry a woman. What is happening in this picture? These parents are not taking care of the girl child. They are taking care of the male child. Oh, my son is not eating. You will get weak. Please eat. What about the girl child? This is gender biasing. In India, if you go to Haryana and Rajasthan, the sex ratio, that is the number of women per 1000 male, is very less. The difference is quite high. If I go to Kerala, on the per 1000 there are more than 1000 women plus. But if you go to this part, Gujarat, Rajasthan and Haryana, you will get 900, 950, 960. So this is why we are killing these women embryo. What about a child who is crying? The parent will say, don't cry, men never cry, boys never cry. This is what they feed these men. What will happen to this boy child? When he'll get older, whatever he happens to him, means some breakup or some fail in the exam or whatever happens, he may get hurt. He won't cry. He will suppress his feeling of cry, which is the natural thing. So the Samaj or the society has told us, you see, that these parents are also guiding them. So we'll just come to this one right now. So in our mind, it's being fed that a man or a male cannot cry. So we will also think that if I do that, if I cry in public, people are going to tease me. So even if I want to cry, I cannot cry. Like if you take my example, I cry every time. Whenever I see some video or listen to some song, I cry every time I cry. But I need to hide it from everyone. So what we do, we have all the rudimentary things which are happening in our society. We frame them, we image them according to that. We frame them like this. Like the women should be soft and gentle. The women should be well behaved. What? Every man should be, every woman should be, every human being should be well behaved. Every men should be soft and gentle. Who said that only the girls should be well behaved? So the stereotype word is this: when we fix people into one image, that is, we create a stereotype. We typecast them. We have a proper image. As I said, if you have a Singh Sahib, you will always think after 8 o'clock, drink and chicken. And that is not true. So if when people say that you belong to a country or religion, if person with beard or a skull cap, you'll say, you'll have all those things coming into your mind. If someone do something bad, we try to blame all the religious society. See, if Syria there is war. If it is someone is coming from Syria, you cannot say you are also fighting. You talk about sex, we always talk about men and women. What about the transgenders? They are also people. They also need to eat. They also need to work. What do? We have only given them one task: to show them in the movie and make fun of them. If a person is not wearing good, he is not having money, it can happen to anyone. So if somebody is criminal, you'll say you are also criminal because you are his brother. If a person is dumb, you can say, he may be dumb for one reason, but he may be good at other reason. So these are stereotypes. You are stereotyping people because you have an image. You have a proper image being made into your mind, and I want to break them. I really want to break them. If someone does a terrorist activity, I'll just say some religious community, then everyone says this community all are like this. They frame them. They stereotype them. Okay? But I need to just tell you that a person who has done this from the same community, Abdul Kalam has also come. He's the missile man. He was the ex-president of India. So in any community, it can be any religion, it can be everyone has special quality. Everyone has some special quality, some skill. He may sing well, he is intelligent, he may dance well, he may run well, or he may type well. Everyone has their own skill and capacity. We need to judge people with their abilities, not by their skin color, not by their religion, not by their sex, not by their race, not by their money. Right? No stereotyping, please. No stereotyping. Now, let me come here. Now, there are 3 pictures of different kids. Now, these kids, when they were born, they never asked for it. The God has made them like this. So, they are normal. We call them disabled. We call them Viklang. We call them children with special needs. Modi ji said they are Divyang. So, they need our help. They don't need our hatred. They don't need, stereotyping. They don't need prejudice. They need our love. They need our care. They need to be respected. They need to be given honor. They need to be a part of our society just like we are. Okay? So we need to have good schools for them. We need to take care of them. They give them all the honor and respect that they deserve in this society because they are among us. See, whatever exams you are preparing or whatever, I just want you to keep in mind that these people are like us. Just respect them, just honor them, right? Come from any religion, sex, whatever it is, just respect them. Inequality and discrimination. The discrimination means bhedbhav. Inequality means asamanata. So, as I said, we have prejudice and stereotype. These two words I explained. Now, because of these two, the thing comes as discrimination. Bhedbhav, discrimination comes only when you have a prejudice and then you stereotype. So, because of this, you stop people from doing the work they can do better than you. You stop them from taking some jobs. You stop them from living near your house. You stop them to take water from where you drink. You make them drink in another cup, or you don't even offer them tea or any other thing. So you start discriminating against them. And I am sure it might be in your mind that you might have discriminated people, and that is so bad. No asamanta, no bhedbhav, discrimination is a stigma. So you don't stop people just because you have some stereotype or prejudice. Previously, people think that the girls cannot even drive bikes, drive cars. But these girls are, flying fighter aircraft. They are better than 1,000, 1 crore, 1 lakh, million of men, I am telling you. So what about difference between men and women? Every man and every woman can do any work. If they have the ability, they have the skill. In your family, you will give more respect to your mother. Why you give your mother? Because your mother has created you, has produced you, delivered you. You know how much pain she has gone. If I break your 10 or 8, bones, that pain she has suffered. Okay. So just respect everyone. We have seen about the example of Samir 1 and Samir 2. One was Hindu, one was Muslim. One was knowing English, the other was not knowing English. One was, economically sound, other was not. But still, no one had any biasing, no one has any discrimination, no one has any prejudice, no one has any stereotype. So actually, they wanted to talk, they talked, and they had a very good relationship. They developed a very, very kind, poised, clean, and friendly relationship. There's one more thing I'm telling you. Let me tell you that Sachar committee, Rajendra Sachar committee was there, and that committee presented a report, and that report showed that the Muslims are living in the situation which are more worse than the scheduled caste. Muslims are the more marginalized class in whole India. They are coming lower than scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So why it has happened? Why it has happened? The Dalit people, you will always see Dalit people. They are people who you will ghettoize them. They will live in the community or neighborhood which is not so good. It's dirty. Whoa. One more thing I'm going to tell you, that always we think Muslims, they eat and they just create kids, and it is not like that. And they don't want to send their kids, or especially girl child, to the school. It's not true. Our society has made them just to do the vegetable vendor or do puncture activity, but they can read. If you give them chance, they can teach, they can read, they can go well beyond. So this community, when they were given schools, they were given chance. The girl went to the schools, and they actually did what they can do. Every woman, every man who is on this earth has the capability which is given by the God. So there are these people who are suffering both type of discrimination. What kind of discrimination? First of all, they are poor. Second thing, they are prejudiced. Third thing, they are ghettoized. Fourth thing, they are marginalized. Fifth thing, the government does not take care of them, or even if they want, there are so many things which happens. So the combination of, say, a scheduled caste person who is poor and he's a scheduled caste also, meaning in this society he is already been ghettoized, he is thrown out of the society and is poor, he cannot eat, he is not given chance to do job. So there are multiple discrimination happening on these. You see Janjati or tribes, what will happen to them? So there are so many tribes who are discriminated. People still think that they are backward, hula la they will do. No, they are just like you and me. Just give them chance. One more thing is there, this discrimination. Why? See, whatever happen, if your maid comes, a cleaner comes, will you allow your kid to play with her kid? No. I can bet you. You know why? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The problem is the society, the itihas. If somebody is cleaning, somebody is washing in your house, someone is cutting your hair or picking your garbage or waste. Now all these we have already thought, we have stereotyped ourselves that these people who are doing this, they are dirty and they are impure. Gande apavitra. They are dirty and impure. I'll give an example. You know, in the advanced country, Canada and US, the highest income who people get? What job? Truck drivers. Truck drivers get the most of the money. Plumber, second number. Plumber, they get a lot of money. You know, and these people are most disregarded people in our community. We always see this is a small work, this is a big work. It's not like that. Every work is important. Every work is important for us. So these, advanced country, they only think about technology. They think about swasth, health and education. They don't care about Hindu, Muslims, etc. So this is what we do. And one more, stigma on our Indian society is the caste system, and caste system is very less now in the community. In the millennials, they are not even they don't even know about that. So what happened? Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Dalits, and there was a hierarchy, and in the hierarchy, the lowest level was Dalits, Achut, untouchables. These are street cleaners. They are waste cleaners. So the Shudras and Dalits, they were regarded that whatever work you are doing, you will do only this. If you are a dhobi, if you are a kumhar, if you are a potter, your kids will do only this work. They cannot do another work. So actually they are doing this only. Can you go inside this nala? Can you go inside this pot with all the waste here? But we have forced them to do this. We have typecasted them. We have stereotyped them. We have prejudice that you cannot do that work, you just have to do this work. And Dalit word, this Dalit word, these scheduled caste and the lower caste have taken by themselves. That was Achut. They don't want to call them as Achut. They have taken Dalit. And Dalit means Daba Kuchla, broken. Means because in long history we have the way we have discriminated against them, the way we have pushed them aside. That is why they prefer to call them Dalit. And this is not good. The things have, I must tell you, the things have improved now. We have so many IAS, PCS and government job. We have all the community people. So they are being regarded what? You can only have remove dead animals or garbage. They are not allowed in the temple, our temple. They are not allowed in our homes. They are not allowed to play with our kids. In our school, they cannot sit with our kids. So these all things were going on, and these are still somewhere, there are people who are still following it, and that's so bad. I'll take the name of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. He is the architect of our constitution. He became so great that he is like a god to the Dalit people. Because he is a very learned man. And because he also faced the same thing that every SC normally in the rural areas they face. But still, he learned, he became the barrister, he became a very good or strong personality. I'll tell you a story what he wrote in his book. He and his brothers, they were outside railway station. They are standing there. For half an hour they were standing. And they wanted to go to Koregaon because to meet their parents, father. And they were wearing good clothes, they had money also. So the station master generally, he saw these two kids, he came out and he thought that these are Brahmins. So he came and offered to help because it was more than what a kid should stand for. So they asked the kid. Kid said, this is the problem. And the station master said, okay, I can do that. But the Ambedkar sir, he said, we are Mahars. I am from Mahar community. And the time he said, the person who was there to help them, came there to help them, his face turned pale. He just went, without even helping these kids, he just went away. He never bothered to help these small kids and all these people who are there, who are standing there with bullock carts. They all heard that they are from the Mahar caste. So they also don't want to help them. They also don't want to help them. So this was not a very big incident. This was a very small incident. But from this, we understood that they just wanted to go from one place to another. Everything was available. They had money. The bullock carts were there. And they were wearing good dress. But they were discriminated. Discriminated just because they belonged to the Mahar community. And at that time, that community was discriminated. So this discrimination is not only preventing these Dalits from taking jobs or doing some economic activities, but also we are not giving them respect and dignity. Every man, they only don't want the roti and dal. They also want respect, dignity. Everyone want respect and dignity, and we are not giving them, or we haven't given them. Bhimrao Ambedkar Sahab, as I said, he was the father of or architect of, and he did a lot. He worked a lot. He came from the Mahar caste, and the people who are, Mahars were kept outside the place, means the neighborhood. And he was the first person from his caste who completed the college education, went to England, become a lawyer. And he also saw all these things which are going on. Because in Sanatan Dharma, we have this one Vyavastha, this caste system. So the Dalit community, they prefer, the tribes, they took Christianity because they saw that in Hindu Dharma or Sanatan Dharma, we have caste system which is very discriminatory. The tribe went to Christianity and the Dalit went to Buddhist or Buddhism. Okay. So this is most of the time you see that they are having different religion. Now I told you so many things. Now everyone, because 200 plus years the British ruled us, but still everyone, girl, boy, small, big, everyone, they took part in freedom struggle. They never thought that they will be killed or they will be kept or put behind the bar. Most of the people, they thought that we are not allowed in the temple. We may get, because we'll get Swatantra or independence. So the girls or women said that they will get more education now. And most peasants said, okay, we won't have to give this high interest rate to the money lender. So everyone thought that this independence will come with these things. So when India became a nation in 1947, we got this independence. So the framers or the leaders, they have only one vision. They have a very clear goal that in India, anyone, Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs, SC, ST, anyone, everyone will be equal, treated as equal according to the constitution. So this is the Constitution Assembly. Here you can see Jawaharlal Nehru Sahab addressing, and Jawaharlal Nehru was the first, high vision, long vision Prime Minister. He made the country which we live in right now. All the Band Pariyojana, all the Udyog, manufacturing, IIT, IIMs, ISRO, everyone is given by Nehru Sahab. So everyone thought that everyone should be equal. So what did they did? First of all, they abolished the untouchability, chhoot achhoot, and they abolished it proper through law. That everyone can go to government job, any job they can take, anyone can take any job. That means previously we stopped them, but now it's not. We don't stop them. And also the constitution says that the government has to specifically make program for the marginal communities, the Muslims, the SCs, the tribals, everyone. So the writers or the framers of the constitution said that everyone should have freedom for religion, they may speak, they may celebrate their festivals, and they may have freedom of expression. Everyone can speak, they have the freedom for expression. So India become secular country, Dharmanirpeksh Rajya. We don't have any special religion, we only have one religion, that is, we all are Indian. We are talking about humanity here. Though we have 80% plus Hindus, Sanatan Dharma followers in India, but still this Sanatan Dharma, Hindu Dharma, they know how to take everyone in their community and they have loved everyone around them. So this inequalities exist still in our country, in our Samaj society, and equality is a value we have to, as a human being, as an Indian, we need that this equality should persist. And all the inequalities in the Samaj or society, we need to discriminate that thing. We need to discriminate the inequality. So this is all about this chapter. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.